really want a good song for my podcast, but I just don't know where to find non-copyrighted music. Let's talk about it. You're listening to Practical Podcast Tips. My name's Amber Beals, and today I'm going to cover tip number 12, music to my ears. I want a song that goes along with the vibe of my podcast, but I just don't know where to look. All right, well, let's talk about it. So some of you may be thinking that, you're super excited, you're starting your podcast and you want to create a trailer, or you're creating your intro and your call to action at the end, and you want a little, a good song to go with it. And you're just thinking, I don't know where to find the right song. You know it has to be non-copyrighted and it can't be a popular song, but you just don't know where to look for good. That's the word, good non-copyrighted music. And maybe you find some, but they're so expensive. The songs are so expensive. Well, okay, let's get into it. So there are lots of places that you can go to find non-copyrighted music. One of the most popular ones is called premiumbeat.com. And that one's a really good one. I mean, it's used all around the world. I'm sure if you go on there and you start listening to some of the songs, especially on the top pages, you're going to recognize some of that music on a commercial or maybe even a podcast that you've listened to in the past. You're going to recognize them because they are really good. They're world renowned. Everyone knows about them. It's premiumbeat.com. What's great about Premium Beat is that you can buy one song. I believe right now it's $49 a song, which sounds expensive, and it is. But what's nice about it is that you get the licensing for that song, and it's unlimited licensing. So you can use that song as much as you want. You own the rights to it, and you won't get dinged for using it. They have a really good search function that you can find a song or the type of mood that you're looking for. It's really easy to find. Well, I know some of you are going to say, I did a Google search online and I found Audio Jungle, and it's way cheaper than Premium Beat. Now, I know Audio Jungle is very appealing because it is so much cheaper. It's like 12 or 10 bucks a song. However, the licensing for that song is only good for one project. So what does that mean? That means you use it on one episode on your podcast and that's it. That's what the licensing is good for, one episode of your podcast. And you would have to pay that $10 or $12 or $15, however much it is, per episode or every time you use that song. Now, I don't know how well they track how many times you use your song, but, it's one of those things that you just don't want to get dinged for. You don't want to have that looming over your head as a possibility. Say you get really good and you get just really popular and you have a big audience. If they find out that you're using that song multiple times, even though you only paid for one licensing, you might get dinged for that. And you don't want to deal with that. And you have enough to deal with. You have a popular podcast and you're a busy person. So do yourself a favor and don't go to Audio Jungle. If you're just doing a trailer and you're not going to use that song again, then, that might be a good option for you. However, I wouldn't really suggest it if you want to use it again. So Premium Beat is a really good option if you want to keep using it for your intro and your call to action at the end. Now, say you have a special podcast and you want to switch it up. You want to have a new song every episode, or maybe you want to have a new song every season. Say you don't want to be stuck to one song for very long, and you don't want to pay $49 per song every time you switch. Another good option would be artlist.io. Now, Artlist is a little different in that it's an annual subscription. Now, you pay, I think it's $250 or $300 a year, but that gives you access to unlimited amount of songs. Now, if you think about Premium Beat, it's $49 for one song. With Artlist, you pay $200-$300 and you have access to thousands of songs. We use it for all of our clients. So if you come on with us, we give you that library and you have access to all the songs, whatever song you want. Literally, there's thousands. Now, their search function could be a little better. I'll admit it. However, you're going to find some really high quality songs on there. You just might have to look a little harder, but they are really great. They have songs with lyrics in them, and then they have songs that don't have lyrics on them. They have corporate sounding songs, and they have like cinematic and, light and airy, carefree, happy. They have all the songs that you could ever dream of on Artlist.io, and I love them. We use them. We've used it on this podcast. We've used it for all of our clients. Again, we really love Artlist, but that might not be for everyone because it is an annual subscription and it is $200-$300. But if you have just one subscription, you could download a bunch of songs and then you be done for the year and say you don't want to renew. You're still good to have that license for all the songs that you downloaded within that year. And their license is unlimited, just like Premium Beat. So you don't have to worry about being dinged later on if they find out that you used it more than once or whatever. The only time that they might ding you is if you subscribe and you cancel your subscription, but you downloaded like 50 songs within that time. Your license is void at that point. So if you subscribe and then you download like 50 songs, you cancel your subscription, your license is now void. You're not allowed to use those songs. It's only when you've had it for a full year that you can continue to use that licensing and have those songs and have the rights to those songs. And I just want to talk for a moment about how important music is on your podcast, because it really needs to represent the feel and the vibe of your podcast. If you notice on this podcast, Eric has his own music for the intro and the call to action, and I have my own because he picked a song and I was like, that works really well for you, but it doesn't really vibe with me. So I chose my own song, and that is okay. I want you guys, when you tune into our episodes, when you first hear that music, oh, Amber's going on today, or oh, Eric's going to go on today. And, it's kind of like that audible cue of to be excited, to pump someone up to listen to your show, or to maybe if you have kind of a narrative podcast, it kind of gets them ready and gets them in the mood. It's so important that you love the music to your podcast. So even if it takes a little bit of time, I think it's definitely worth it to spend some time to find the perfect music for your podcast that really represents you and what your podcast is about. So happy hunting. Find that song that really resonates with you and your podcast and start recording and have fun with it. Have fun listening to your own podcast and having others listen to it. All right. Well, I hope you found that valuable and useful. And that's it for me. Hey, thanks for listening. If you liked this episode, please feel free to leave us a review. It really helps out the show. And I'd love to hear how it helped. Also, if you know someone else that could benefit from it, go ahead and share it with them. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.